Okay, lesson 64, Sans Sleeping Justine. Lesson 64 is right up my alley. Again, let me not forget my function. So this has been the message I've been hearing resounding within me. Ooh, this is really important to know my function and not to forget it and to remind myself. So I love this lesson. I'm so glad I devoted the full 10 to 15 minutes. I did around 10 minutes this morning, repeating 3 ideas and then just allowing related thoughts to come. And it's amazing, almost to me, it was amazing how far I went in just 10 minutes. And truth be told, I don't have a really long morning practice of meditation, or like right now, it depends. Justine and I, we co-sleep together. So it's kind of like if typically I get to be up around an hour before her, but it's not necessarily, a full hour to do whatever I want. It's like an hour in bed. Sometimes she stirs, so I nurse her. So I can't be far. I can't necessarily even do yoga. So what I do is I post my lesson. I read the lesson. I do the lesson. And then I'm typically on to do I do a kind of breathing meditation. It's a pranayama exercise that's Kundalini yoga related. My point is, like today, I didn't have first thing in the morning, but the first nap Justine took, I did the 10 minutes and it was wonderful. Because I may not remember every thought I had, but I kind of let myself drift into like, okay, let me not forget my function. I actually ended up I remember kind of going in my mind to the place of waking up and assuming that sense of holiness, and what would that look like? And really that 10 minutes, I was asking a lot of questions. I just found myself, pulling the thread and like, ooh, where is this going? Where's this going? It was wonderful. And it really was a nudge to have, no matter what the lesson does, because sometimes the lesson doesn't say sit quietly for 10 minutes. So I really want to have that quiet time with spirit and my own imagination and my own wisdom, which is one with spirit, which is spirit. So I loved today. I kind of feel like I need the lessons to be like, sit your butt down and do 15 minutes, the ones that say, oh, think of this all through the day. I'm like, oh, perfect, I'm good at that. But kind of devote 20 minutes of undivided attention. I'm like, oh, crap. It usually, the harder ones was 4 times 5 minutes quiet. That was harder. But I just loved, I loved the whole first opening paragraphs. The only thing that was interesting was when it was talking about how the purpose of the world you see is to obscure your function of forgiveness. And I'm like, okay, so the world is against me? Or it just kind of said like this whole world is tempting, luring distraction. And I was like, I have a resistance to thinking that the world is against me. I think there's something in the way that I'm interpreting that, because I don't sense that that's really what it's saying, is that, oh, this whole world is trying to get you down. I've just grown out of that theory. It just no longer feels helpful. To me, it's like the whole world is providing you with an opportunity to practice. I mean, Jesus was nailed to a cross. Um, that's a that's the most intense practice, I'm sure, of history, or one of the top. Um, so that I had a little resistance, but in the end, I just know that when it said that only by fulfilling the function given you by God will you be happy. So it's like, thankfully, nothing in the world brings us happiness. So it's, yeah, it's luring and tempting, but it doesn't actually stick. And I have felt the most joy or happiness and victory when I have stayed in my heart amidst the appearance of some kind of um, sorry, I just got a text and that was very distracting. The world is distracting me. No, from having an awareness. No, but just luckily the world doesn't make you happy. So once you realize what does, the world is no longer as powerful. It's like, oh, well, okay, well, you're not against me, and, you know, you're not really what I am looking for. So, you know, we don't have to be upset with it because it's helping us find the true happiness. Well, you get it. So, yeah, the thing I wanted to bring up as an example is there were a couple of moments today where I definitely forgot my function because I got annoyed or even irritated with Justine. And she had at this one point, she was tired. She wants to be held. She doesn't want to be in a baby carrier. She doesn't want to be restricted. She wants to be free reigning, tired, and like, I'm trying to cook dinner. So then she's hurling herself toward the counter with all her body weight to try to pick up something she shouldn't have. So I'm trying to, and she's kind of, and then eventually gets this wooden like stirring spoon and like starts hitting me with it. And I was like, oh no, you didn't. And kind of took it from her. And there was a couple of things today I did that with, like, I have no patience for this, was my attitude. And I'm like, ooh, okay. My function is not to, rip the things from the child. Although, it's okay for me not to let her hit me. It's just my attitude was, oh, heck no. And I'm not having it. And I'm like, I can't even handle this. So I think it'll be quite amazing. And this is where I can kind of tune in and tonight before bed, I'm going to make a promise right here that I just want to see, even in this moment, because I was taking her personally. I was kind of thinking like, oh, well, you're not going to hurt me. And this is how I can be in the world with other people. Like, oh, heck no, that's not happening. Instead of somehow acknowledging innocence. She's so tired. And the fact is, I'm not even sure she knows how that feels to me. If she knows that can be hurtful. She's not quite there yet. Yeah. Anyway, I'm having flashbacks of other things she did today. One was I was watching a yoga class and she was going up to the computer like to mess up the thing and saying no, like as she's hitting, no. I'm like, yeah, I know. And now I'm realizing that no is not very effective. Like I'm not saying not to teach it. I'm not going like totally AWOL here. It's just, it provokes her. So I'm trying now to explain, like, I'm watching this, my love, and so it's just a whole other approach, which is what this whole course is a whole other approach. Because the programmed approach is not effective. Like, just saying no makes her do it harder and more. So I have to But it's the whole point is let's not forget to stay in our loving heart, number one, and not to make anything our enemy. Yeah, I want to peek ahead because I haven't. Yeah, more function, more function. My only function is the one God gave me. I love the repetition. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.